In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet the Flora Blossom rectangle blanket. You can also make this blanket pattern as a square or as a shawl. For additional information and links to everything I'm using in this tutorial, please check out the drop-down description box below or visit my website, jonnamartinez.com. Now let's get started. For materials, I am using a worsted weight yarn, 5.5mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and you can also have a stitch marker and tape measure on hand. To begin, you're going to need 2 strands of yarn. Many skeins have a center pull and also the yarn on the outside of the skein. So I'm just going to use these 2 tails from the same skein. Using them together, I'm going to create a slip knot. Next, chain 24. We're only going to use this double strand for the very base chain. Once you have a chain of 24, I'm going to cut one of the strands. Typically, I like to center pull, so I'm going to cut the other yarn. Leave a tail long enough to weave in. Puff stitch into the 3rd chain from hook. The puff stitches for this pattern only have a yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times, so they are slightly smaller than a traditional puff stitch. Because of the double strands from the base chain, I have a total of 8 loops on my hook here. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 8 loops. Chain 1 to close the puff stitch. From here, place a puff stitch into each chain all the way down your work. Once I get to the very end, I will show you how my work is looking. I find it's easiest when pulling through all the loops to be sure your hook is in the downward position as you're pulling through. Here we are about halfway through round 1. As you see, the work likes to curl around itself like this. Don't worry about this, as it will straighten out as we get to the other side of the chain. Into the very last chain, we are going to be placing more than 1 puff stitch. We're going to be working around the end of the chain and then into the backs of the chain all the way back up the work. Puff stitch into the last chain. Chain 1. This is going to create a corner. Double puff into the same chain. A double puff is 2 puff stitches into the same space. chain 1, puff stitch again into that last chain. So now this very last chain has a total of 4 puff stitches, and we have 2 chain 1 spaces. From here, we're going to place a puff stitch into each chain all the way down. Our puff stitches should be directly across from our previous puff stitches. Once we get to the end of our work, I will meet back up and we will finish round 1. Here is how my work is looking, and I am back around to the beginning again. Now we need to make this end look just like the opposite end. We already have our beginning puff stitch into this space, so now place another puff stitch into the same chain. Chain 1 and double puff into the same space. Now we need to create a last corner space. Instead of chaining 1, we're going to single crochet into the top of our first puff stitch. This creates a 4th corner space. And as you see, the 2 ends should look like each other. At the end of round 1, you should have 48 puff stitches and 4 chain 1 spaces. Again, that single crochet is going to count as a chain 1 corner space. For this blanket, we are going to be working from one side only, so do not turn. Chain 2 or 1. This chain 2 does not count as a stitch. It will just help us begin the round. Puff stitch into the space that was made by the single crochet. For this round, we are going to be working in between each puff stitch. Now begin a round repeat. V-stitch. A V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 1 double crochet into the same stitch. Skip 2 puff stitches, single crochet. Now we are going to make 3 chain 3s. Chain 3, skip 2 puff stitches, single crochet. Repeat until you have 3 total. Now I have a V-stitch and 3 chain 3s. Then skip 2 puff stitches and we are going to begin the whole repeat again. V-stitch, skip 2 puff stitches, single crochet, make 3 chain 3s, chain 3, skip 2 puff stitches, single crochet. Now we are at the end. Skip 2 puff stitches and V-stitch. Into the chain 1 corner space, you're going to double puff. A double puff is 2 puff stitches into the same space. Then into the space between our previous double puff, make a V-stitch. Double puff into the chain 1 space. Now we're going to begin the round repeat again. V-stitch into the first space. Skip 2 puffs and single crochet. Then make 3 chain 3s, chain 3, skip 2 puffs and single crochet. Skip 2 puffs, then we're going to repeat the round repeat again. Skip 2 puffs and V-stitch. Your stitches should be lining up and mirroring the previous side. Into your chain 1 space, double puff. Then into the previous double puff, you're going to V-stitch. Now that first puff we made for this round is part of a double puff. So we're going to place another puff stitch into the same space. Then single crochet into the top of that beginning puff. At the end of round 2, you should have 8 V-stitches, 4 double puffs, and 12 chain 3s. Round 3, chain 2 or 1, and puff stitch into the single crochet space. This round is going to be very simple. Place 5 double crochet into each V-stitch. Five double crochet will go into each V-stitch around your blanket. And then work 2 chain 3s over your previous 3 chain 3s. Single crochet into chain 3, chain 3, single crochet into chain 3, repeat. When I single crochet around the previous chain, I don't go into the chain but around the chain. Now we are at a V-stitch, so 5 double crochet into it. Then 2 chain 3s. Now we are at a V-stitch again, so 5 double crochet into it. When you get to the double puff stitches, double puff into the previous double puff. Then 5 double crochet into the end V-stitch, and we're just going to repeat this all the way around. The sides will mirror each other. Once I get to the end, I will show you how my work is looking. Puff stitch again into the first space. And single crochet into the top of your first puff stitch. At the end of round 3, you will have 40 double crochet, 4 double puffs, and 8 chain 3s. Round 4. Chain 2 or 1, and puff stitch into the first space made by the single crochet. Now we're going to be increasing into our previous 5 double crochet. This means to place 2 double crochet into each of our previous stitches. We're going to have a total of 10 double crochet. Now make 1 chain 3 over your previous 2 chain 3s. From here, we're just going to repeat this all the way around. 10 double crochet, one chain 3, ten double crochet, double puff into previous double puff. Then 10 double crochet. Continue working in this fashion all the way around your blanket. Once I come to the very end, I will show you how my work is looking. Finish this round like all the rest with a puff stitch and single crochet. Round 4, you will have 80 double crochet, 4 double puff stitches, and 4 chain 3 spaces. Round 5, chain 2 or 1, puff stitch, working over each arch of 10 double crochet, chain 1 9 times. Then double crochet into the last stitch. Single crochet into the previous chain 3. Now we will repeat this around. Here I am at a double puff, making sure to place a double crochet into the last double crochet. Now double puff. and continue around. Once I get to the beginning again, I will meet back up. End round 5 as usual with a puff stitch and single crochet to the top of the first puff. You should have 80 double crochet, 4 double puff, and 4 single crochet. Round 6. Chain 2 or 1. Puff stitch. Into this space, V-stitch. Skip double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, then single crochet. Now make 3 chain 3s. Chain 3, skip double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, single crochet into chain space. Repeat this 3 times. Now I have 3 chain 3s. Skip double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, V-stitch into single crochet. Skip double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, single crochet. Now make 3 chain 3s, like previously. Then a V-stitch into the single crochet like before. Skip double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, single crochet. Then 3 chain 3s again. Skip double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, V-stitch into the space before the double puff. Double puff into double puff. V-stitch into the next space. For the rest of this round, you will have a V-stitch into the spaces on each side of the double puffs. Skip double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, single crochet. Three chain 3s. Skip double crochet, chain 1 double crochet, V-stitch into that space. Double puff. Let's chat about this round. You start with a V-stitch, 3 chain 3s over each arch, then V-stitch into each single crochet. We also have a V-stitch on each side of the double puffs. Continue this all the way around. Once I get to the beginning again, I will meet back up. Complete this round with a puff stitch and single crochet like previous rounds. Round 7. Chain 2 or 1. Puff stitch. Now, just like on round 2, work 5 double crochet into each V-stitch. We will work 2 chain 3s over the 3 chain 3s. And now we have 2 chain 3s. From here, just repeat 5 double crochet into the V-stitches and 2 chain 3s over the 3 chain 3s. Again, repeat this all the way to the double puff, where you will double puff into the previous double puff. Continue this around and I will show you how my work is looking. Here is how my work is looking. I have 5 double crochet into each V-stitch and 2 chain 3s. I have 5 double crochet on each side of the double puffs. From here, I will continue around. You will finish this round like all the rest with a puff stitch and single crochet. Here I am completing round 7 with the single crochet. Double check you have 2 chain 3s over the 3 chain 3s and 5 double crochet into each V-stitch. The corners should look like this. Round 8. Chain 2 or 1. Puff stitch. Now increase over the 5 double crochet with 2 double crochet into each stitch for 10 double crochet, like on round 4. From here, make 1 chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Then increase again for 10 double crochet. We will just repeat this around, placing double puff into the previous double puffs. Once I get some more done of this round, I will meet back up. Here I have the 10 double crochet over each 5 double crochet and 1 chain 3 between, then a double puff into the previous double puff. From here I will continue around. You will finish this round like all the rest with a puff stitch and single crochet. Round 9. Chain 2 or 1, puff stitch. Now, like on round 5, double crochet, chain 1, 9 times. Once I have these completed, I will meet back up. Here I have the double crochet, chain 1 9 times, just like on round 5. Now double crochet into the last stitch. Single crochet into chain 3. Now just repeat this around. Double crochet, chain 1, 9 times. Double crochet into the last stitch. Single crochet into the chain 3s. Double puff into the double puffs. Continue around and then I will show you how my work is looking. Here is how my work is looking. It is very simple with the double crochet chain 1 sets and the single crochet into the chain. At the corners we have a double puff Now just continue this around. At the end of round 9, I will just puff stitch and single crochet as usual. Now we are just going to repeat these last 4 rounds until the blanket is complete. So round 6, 7, 8, and 9. So as we repeat, the next V-stitch will go into this single crochet here, as we will repeat round 6. You will also have V-stitches on each side of the double puff. We will end our blanket on a repeat of round 9. Here I just wanted to show you that I have worked this blanket up in several ways. This dark yarn is a very light 3-weight yarn. Then this pink ombre is a 5mm hook with worsted weight yarn. And then lastly, this rose and white is using an L 8mm hook and worsted weight yarn. You will get different lengths of this blanket when you use different yarns and hooks. Here is that dark yarn and just a close-up of how small the yarn is. The hook is a 3.75mm. If you enjoyed this tutorial and you were able to watch until this part of the video, please say hi or leave an orange heart emoji in the comment section below. That really helps this tutorial reach other crocheters who might also enjoy this tutorial. Links to everything I'm using in this tutorial will be in the drop-down description box below, or you can visit my website, jonnamartinez.com. As a little reminder, this tutorial is accompanied by a written pattern that you can purchase on my Etsy or Ravelry shops. Other ways to help support this channel is to leave a comment in the comment section below and say hi, share this tutorial with your friends, hit the like button, and of course subscribe if you haven't. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a lovely crochet day, and to see you again in my next tutorial.